Alright, so I didn't get to record a good intro for this video because I sporadically filmed this over the course of a year, but ultimately this video will be about me digging out the back portion of my storage area to fill in the front parking pad area of the storage area. Overall, it's just baling a lot of dirt. Okay, so that takes the entire pile from that cutout over there for the drive-through, puts it over here to lift this probably another 2 to 3 feet on average in most spots. But as you can see, I need more. So realistically, I will have to even bring in more fill on top of this, about that level, probably up to about the midpoint of that pontoon, just to get this whole area leveled to the front here. That'll be somewhat achievable, as the level over here is just around the same as over there, so I can meet up into where this lip starts and then bring the grade out over here, and it'll be kind of roughly fading up and into it over here, so that this whole back corner is a nice level area. So coming up around here, my goal is to make this a nice cut through, as well as possibly storing materials back like where the stumps are. But what I would like to do is cut this down even more, because right now it's a hump, and over there it's very high. There's a big hump right here with a big fall off, and really I'd like to take this whole area down like another 2 to 3 feet if I could. Since I took all the material from over here with the skid steer, I want to come back through with the excavator and start using the ripper to pull up any of the loose ledge on top here, because the last time when I came through I just used the bucket and got as much as I could out. So what I can do is go through this whole area with the ripper, the excavator. Once I get the stumps out of the way, same thing right there. Pull all of this material down, pull this backside down, and then once I do all of that, especially pulling out some of the back material here to level out the pad some more, I should generate quite a bit of fill to put up in the front there, and even this hill area here, such that I'll be able to lift that whole thing, get it fairly level, and remove the lip up there. It's sort of close to the level I want it in the back, probably a bit lower. But as you can see, all the way through this midsection here is a good vein of hard ledge. And since this stuff is so hard, it's not piecing out too easy with the ripper. I don't feel like beating up the machine. So this will be a lot easier once I clean it all out to the level I want. I'll go through with a hammer and beat out all the stuff that's outcropped. Alright, since I have the hammer on rental, I'm going to go ahead and try to hammer out some of this ledge I've exposed back here to make a pathway. All right, so unfortunately, this large lump in the center is very hard rock. There are no real veins to it. Doesn't really want to break up with the weight of the hammer that we had rented. So this back little access road will kind of have to be dictated by the height of that. And it's not a big deal. It just makes this whole thing ramp up a bit more, then I'll level it off. I just took out more fill, expecting to be able to get a bit further down. And in the same aspect, that vein back there, similar situation. The front half of it very hard, just powdered with that hammer. So we brought the back down as far as we could, just even out the corner. But really, after I get past this point here, I'm just going back downhill. So it's a matter of feathering out material over whatever is there. And then in that back corner where the stumps are, I'm just going to dig that out. And what it is what it is. It'll likely be a pile like that. Just I want the fill underneath it and get it a bit more level for dumping. So I think this will look pretty cool though once it's cleaned off. It's pretty smooth topped. I just tried to take down the edges on it, and then we'll put some stone in around this and I'll be able to drive right through here nice and easy. All right, it's been quite a while since I've done anything in my backyard, both on camera and off camera. At the end of last year, I was adding more fill pretty much from that front of that tree all the way out over here, and kind of ended around this spot. And from here over, I've just been filling with random fill from jobs that I've been doing. But, you know, this side has been lifted up quite a bit. We're still probably a foot or two low from the trunk of that tree over there. And I want to keep lifting it up. So right now, especially with this summer, this whole area, because it's nice and flat and cleared out, just sheets water all the way down here. And it funnels kind of right through there, as well as over here. And you can actually see how much washout has been going through this fill, both in that spot and a couple other spots around here. Like right over here, see a couple good, nice chunks taken out. And it's really just because I don't have any erosion control. And ultimately that's just getting down into the woods, and then it's going into my yard underneath the firewood. I'd really like to sort of finish this area up, so to speak, so I have some good parking for the winter. And then with all of the material I'm excavating, there's a bunch of just rock and ledge. I can use that to line the edges over here once I get it up to a fair enough grade. It will kind of suck finishing this area because it's an awesome spot that I can just keep dumping material from jobs to keep, you know, raising it. But at some point I gotta put stone over this or whatever just so I can use it as parking and it's not a weed heaven, and you know, it won't be super muddy. So I mean, the 1.5 minus over here has worked out pretty well. It would be nice to just do like a 3/4 minus now over that and get it all nice and tidy. But the big thing is I would really like to finish stone at least like this center area and put up like a carport or two on either side to put attachments under, put a machine or two under, whatever it might be, because I don't remember if I've mentioned it in a video or not, but I mean, just a quote for a shell of a building up here is like over 100 grand. I understand that everything's pretty expensive, and I mean, I understand the cost of equipment and everything like that, but in my scenario here where I'm really far up a hill, and if I were looking to resell my home, it's a residential home and not many buyers are going to have a huge interest in a giant building in the back that's not, you know, super easy access. You have to maintain it, and most residential owners don't need a huge building. So, you know, putting 150 grand plus into a building like that just to get it usable with some electricity and everything in it, a little high for, you know, my purposes alongside the purposes of the value of the house. So back here will likely be pretty much aggregate finished, and then I'm going to try to put up some metal carports, kit items that are going to have much more longevity than any of those Shelter Logic type of units. And I think I mentioned it before in the video where I was working on my driveway. If I am going to be here longer and I want the space, which I really honestly need it, that I'd rather invest it in refactoring my house, you know, building a full-size garage to the left of it, looking from the front, and you know, basically modify it from a tri-level ranch into some other variation, but that would give me not only garage space, but it would give me more living space on the inside, and definitely up the value in terms of a residential house for resale down the road. So in the end back here, it's largely going to be pretty open. I don't think unless I win the lottery, I don't think I'm going to put a shop back here of any grand size. Maybe a shed or two, something that, you know, find the right deal. You know, I can just bring it right up here, put it down somewhere and put some stuff in it type of thing for sure. But doing like a 50 by 30 shop is just going to be kind of over the top for the budget of what I actually need and what would provide value back to my property. All right, so it's been about a year since I started digging out this corner here and baling material all the way around to where the trailers were originally parked to lift that corner. I still want to lift that corner more, but unfortunately, since in this area there is some really hard ledge that I did try hammering with these smaller machines here, this stuff just isn't going to break up unless I get a big machine on it, and there's really no reason to. It definitely is higher than I would like it, because I would like the whole area to kind of be the height that's to the left of that bump. So what I'm gonna do is probably peel back the excess material that I pulled down and take any of the larger rocks that I broke out from the ledge over there and over here, place that all back in here, pat it down, and then use a lot of the smaller, finer material such as the pile right there to just build it back up, fill it in, pack it in, and then I can of course put smaller crushed stone over top of that. So using the steel wrist on that made that super easy, and basically got it all filled in with the rock on the bottom, then sprinkled in some generic fill I've been pulling out of the hill just to kind of lock it all in. And this is definitely drivable at the moment. Realistically, I'll be driving down sort of the pathway here and maybe only getting a tire or so up over here, but once I get all of this subgraded how I want it, my plan is to order in some more 3/4 inch minus and just sort of coat this area over there, the parking area, and maybe the drive around the whole thing. So okay, so I've been thinking about this area over here in between my flat spot and pathway, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is basically dig out from where I have it cleared over there all the way over until about where the pathway is, ledge allowing, and basically just turn this into a either harsher slope or use a lot of the rock that I have and create a little rock wall in here, basically just to gain more material and usable space, because this slope right here I can't really do anything with other than put random attachments on, and they always fall over or roll down the thing or whatever. So making this more flat space would be great. The only thing I have to worry about is not getting too much into the roots of that tree, which shouldn't be too bad because down there it's pretty flat. It's really just the center core area. And then this tree right here, of course. So since I want to get all that material over in the corner, and the skid steer is still on another job, what I'm going to do is dig out this bank with the excavator and toss it in the dump trailer. And then I'll just back the dump trailer up and dump it off the edge. got about halfway through, did 4 loads over there, and the battery on the dump trailer is pretty low, so had to go plug that in. What I might do is just finish piling this stuff just to cut this area out, see what I'm working with, and then go knock down these piles over there. Okay, so that gets the rest of the material out of that dig out over here, and I think I've lifted this pretty much as I want in this corner. It's pretty level, if not a bit higher than where the excavator's sitting. So this will make a perfect little parking pad, and it'll finally let me drive around this area without it being a mess or a slope or a bunch of random material all placed everywhere. But of course, I think something's wrong with the battery charger on the dump trailer, and I had to manually unload the last 2 or 3 trailer loads just because I didn't want to wait another few days to get a new charger and everything for it. So have to fix that. But I think all that's really left over here for needing fill is between the tree and this area here. Just needs a little bit more to level it out between the pathway, and we should be good. But I think I'll consider this a good stopping point for this part of the video, getting this whole corner filled in and the dig out of the other 2 portions there to supply the fill. And I think the next part of this will basically be using a lot of the spare rock I have around here to build up this wall a bit more, and then place the rest of it around the slope as erosion control, because the slope is pretty high now and I do get a lot of water shearing through this whole area. So it, as I've shown before, it carves right through the bottom of this and then throws it all in my yard. So getting this set up so that it's not going to erode will be the next step. Really happy I finally lifted this corner, because it's very close to being able to put all my trailers and everything over here and have more space over there for equipment and possible storage. Just haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. So on to messing with some rocks.